you can't coach everyone, or is it just a coach?
The big thing I say is, like, you gotta win the morning.
Heavy requirements on them to lift heavy weights.
The conversation has to be changed.
What you truly value.
No right way and there's no wrong way.
Become the source of struggle.
I kept finding myself in tears from the physical pain.
You're listening to the Stephen Kinsler podcast. Hey guys, Stephen Kinsler here, and welcome to the show. This is episode 45, and today's show we're going to be talking about clients and coaches, and pretty much the topic is, you can't coach everyone, or is it just a coach? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been doing this obviously for 20 odd years. I've worked with thousands of clients. I have seen every different type of client so far. Most of the people on the list I've worked with at one point, and not in a bad way, but it's just you're learning from it. So we're going to kind of delve into that, and then we'll delve in a little bit about the coaching side of things as well, and just kind of give people an insight into how things work, what coaches go through, what clients have to put up with, and is there just people in the world that you just can't coach, and is there coaches who just can't coach themselves? And I think it's a very small number of people, realistically, especially for the client side of things. I think it's a very small number of people that can't be helped. There's certain types of personalities that come into your gym. I have little labels for them today, just to make things easier. If you're a coach, you've coached someone, not even the fitness industry, but in any industry, you'll kind of resonate with some of these. They're fun. Sometimes not fun to work with, but they're fun in general when you kind of look back on it. So the first thing, right? The goal of the coach, the role, the mission of a coach is to help someone get further down the road on their particular aspect of life, whether it be in the fitness industry or it be in something that's like just for work. If you work in a bank, or you work on building sites, or you're an electrician, or like anything, you work in IT, the goal is to get someone further down the road in regards to what you're doing and what you're delivering and the service you give. When it comes to the fitness industry, generally it is to help someone achieve their goal, and that goal is to be healthier, stronger, fitter, achieve a challenge, and pretty much to lead a stronger life, to have a bigger impact on someone so they can live a better life. That is pretty much the role of any sort of strength and conditioning coach, fitness coach, anyone that is trying to get people moving for health, strength purposes. Okay, so that is the role of the coach. Now, when it comes to the clients, there is a few different types of clients. Obviously, there's the client that we love. They come in, they're willing to work, they're willing to listen, they're willing to learn. I personally find that people that have never done anything before are easier to teach because they have no bad habits. But you got those beautiful clients that come in and all they want to do is just work and get there. But then you have those other clients. Like the first one is the know-it-all, right? The know-it-all comes in, they've been around the block, they've been to different gyms, they've worked with specific coaches. And I've had that before where people have literally name dropped 4 or 5 coaches on their first day. And my response was, well, why aren't you working with them then? If they're that good, why are you not working with them? They're not that too far away from me. What's the reason why you stopped? But the know-it-all is a fun one because they come in and they're not willing to learn. And this is hard for young coaches or inexperienced coaches because they don't know how to deal with someone like that just yet. But yeah, the know-it-all is a great one because they've been there, they know exactly this is what works. This is how I do it. And then you slowly see them. I know I had one particular client in a kind of a global gym I worked in. And it was like, well, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do this, and I don't do that, and this is what I will do. And then I was like, well, why am I coaching you? And by the end of the session, he was open to learning some new stuff. By the end of, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks, he was doing everything I needed him to do. But it's that a whole like, this is how I do things. I was like, yeah, but like you're still looking to get fitter, stronger. There's still issues with your weight. So if you're doing the same thing because you know it all and you're still not getting results, guess what? You don't know it all. And here's the caveat. Here's the little nugget, the golden nugget when it comes to the fitness industry is the more you learn about the fitness industry, the more you understand you don't know loads. It is a rabbit hole. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And you have to understand that because a lot of people believe that, oh yeah, I know everything. You know nothing when it comes to the whole aspect of the fitness industry. I've been doing this a very long time and I'm still learning, constantly learning. So yeah, the know-it-all is a great one. One of my personal favorites is the used to be. And again, this can be women, but tends to be guys. Used to play rugby, or I used to play football. High level now. Or it could have been a contender kind of thing. And they're living on their past glories. And it's nice, but I find that anyone that tends to want to just live on their past glories is never really willing to put themselves, well, firstly, understand where they are today and then move themselves forward. So, like, the purpose of that is when you just constantly focus on the past, you can't focus on the future. So you're unable to remove yourself from something that you can't change to focus on something you can change. And I think that's a big mindset shift people need to understand. So the used to be's, that is something that you'd have to deal with. You'd have to kind of deal with this. Well, I used to be this strong, or I used to be able to lift this much weight, or I used to be able to run this fast. And it goes, well, that's not what you can do today. This is what you can do today. Now, how can we make that a little bit better? Because that's where it has to be, and that's your mind frame. If you focus on the past, you stop yourself from progressing to move towards your goals in the future. And that is a simple one to work with when it comes to the used to be's, is getting them to understand that. But it is, like, don't get me wrong, I live off a few old past glories from my sporting career, my history of winning some titles, from some medals, some trophies. Yeah, like I remember them, but I have no illusions that that's where I am today. So that is another one. Then you have, and this is probably my toughest client because it's getting true to them, the flakes. The flakes are great. These are people that will literally go out of their way to avoid the discomfort of exercise. And I love the flakes for one reason, is because they are literally just, they're trying to avoid exercise, which makes them feel uncomfortable and stressed out, rather than doing the exercise that will make them feel uncomfortable, slightly stressed because you're stressing the body, and then generally feel better. That's what I find the flakes. They don't want to do anything. Everything's hard. The weight's too heavy. The workout's too much. Why did you join the gym then? You want results without putting work in. Unfortunately, you don't get anything in this life for free, so you got to put the work in. But they'll tell you, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get like, especially this is probably more the female. I don't want to get bulky. Wow, hold the phone. You can get bulky lifting weights. Okay, if that was the case, every male coach in the country, in the world, would be jacked. We would be walking around Hulk style 24/7 if it was that easy, if we touched the weight. And for women especially, it's very hard for you to gain all that lean muscle because you don't have as much testosterone as men. So touching a weight doesn't make you bulky, it makes you stronger. If you train like a bodybuilder, maybe. But yeah, we get that from the flakes. And then it's just like, it's all about, I don't know, I want to say hippie-ish, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, I feel. You feel. Do the work. You got to do the work. The flakes, you're tough, right? But I'll work with you. It just takes you longer to kind of get through to you, and a lot of people won't. They'll start something, they'll do a week or two, be it like a running club or like even joining the gym or swimming, and then it just becomes a little bit hard. And once it gets hard, then I'm done. I'm out. No way, it's not for me. I wasn't expecting this. And it's like, well, if you're not expecting anything tough to happen in life in general, you are setting yourself up for major disaster because you won't be able to handle anything. And that's what tends to happen. Next, the feels, kind of like the flakes. I feel my body does this. I feel that my body can control itself. I understand what's going on. I say, well, okay, right. Everyone can feel their body, and everyone understands what's happening to themselves when they're exercising or not exercising, and that's fine. But you don't join a gym because you know exactly what's going on in your system. And unless you have studied anatomy and you studied biology and you understand the inner workings of your hormones and all of that, and you haven't just Googled everything, you don't understand your body. And sometimes you have to work through things. Like if you have a niggle or an injury, are you doing your rehab? Sometimes rehab's going to be sore. Are you staying rigid on your diet? Oh, well, I need to have this. You don't need to have anything. If you do things correctly, you will see results. So yeah, the feels people, I actually probably lumped them with the flakes. And then we have the no-shows. Oh my God, the no-shows are Actually, I kind of like all these people. People who just don't turn up to the gym. They sign up, and I'll give you, this is my favorite story. It was in, I think, the third gym I ever worked in. And a guy comes in. It was January. We were buzzing. It was a hotel gym. Guy comes in, pays, I think it was like 650 or 700 euros for the year up front. Just pays full year. I'm in. Bam. I'm a 10. I'm like, perfect. And then we literally didn't see him until January next year. And guess what he does? He pays another year up front in cash. Let's go again. And we're like, well, why did you not turn up last year? Things got busy. I think he did about 10 sessions in January and then never turned back up. For another year to only turn back up and pay again. The no-shows are people that go all in. They do a week or two, and then you start seeing them they come in, what actually happens, they come in, they're too gung-ho. They're like, if you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? I'm a 10, I'm in, I'm going to change my life. And then when someone's really that into it at the very beginning, you're there's no I'm about an 8, so I'm not really sure what's going on, or I'm 7. But if you're a 10 out of 10, what's happening there is that I generally start not to believe that you're committed. You'll do 3-4 sessions a week for the first couple of weeks, and then it'll be down to 2, and then it'll be 1, and you'll miss a week. Then you'll try and rally back in and go again because you just kind of went there too hot and you burnt yourself out. And when it comes to that, then it's you start missing sessions, you're not getting results, but then you start blaming the gym. You start blaming, oh, well, they don't reach out, or they didn't. Like, you got to take responsibility for yourself. Like, you really do. Especially at FSM, we reach out to people pretty much on a weekly basis. And if we're not seeing you in the gym, we're definitely reaching out to you on a weekly basis. I know some gyms don't do that, but don't blame the coaches. Take ownership for yourself. You're not turning up to the gym because you've been a lazy git. You've decided that there's too many things in your life. And that's bullshit, to be honest. Like, there's enough time for everyone. And that's what it kind of comes down to when it comes to the no-shows, is that they end up just falling off, and then they become resentful to the gym, and then they're afraid or embarrassed to come back. And I'll give you another story. This happened, I think, about 9 years ago. There's a woman in the gym. It was in FSM, and she was training. She was good. I think she was here about 4 or 5 months. She trained well, and then she just stopped turning up. Reached out to her, emailed her, called her, texted her, I'll be coming back. Then we were getting nothing back from her. And this went on, I think it went on for about 8 to 9, maybe 10 weeks. And then I just went, right, stopped her membership. And I sent her an email. I said, hi, such and such. You haven't been here for so long, so saving you money, I've stopped your membership. If you want to kick it back off again, and you're able to get into the gym, let me know, we can restart your account. And I got a beautiful email back giving out yards of how dare I make a decision on her behalf in regards to what she's doing with her life and her money. And I just never really responded, because that is, obviously she had stuff going on that I wasn't willing or being paid to deal with. But yeah, no, if you're not at my gym enough, I will reach out to you to the point. And if I'm not hearing back from you, I will stop your membership, because I will replace you with someone that wants to be helped, that will turn up, and I can actually physically help because they're turning up to the gym. So that's, those type of people. And then you've got just people that don't fit in your environment or your community or your tribe. And this is, I don't think you can do anything about this one. People will join your gym, any gym in the world, and this goes everywhere. You create a culture, a community, a vibe, a tribe, okay? And someone comes in and they don't, it's not that they don't fit in, they don't slot into what you're doing. They don't like it. They don't like how you do things. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's just a personality thing. They don't like the vibe that's going on in your gym, and the gym down the road has that vibe. And they go down there and they get great results. I think that's more as a coach and a business owner, you have to take that and understand that not everyone wants to be at your gym. Yes, you get results. Yes, you provide a great service. Yes, you give value. Yes, everything you do is to help people be better. And that's, I think every single coach that owns or that coaches or has a gym believes in those things. They want those things to be true about their facility. Not everyone will like what you do. They might like a different style of training. We've had people come from other gyms that are like, oh my God, this is amazing. I never knew this before. How have I not been coached like this? And then we've had people that left the gym because, hey, it's not really for me. I didn't really like the program that you did or this or that. And like, that's okay. The only thing I really like is the honesty. I like people being honest with me in a genuine way, saying, listen, it's not my thing. I'm going to try something else. I wish you all the best. Generally do wish anyone all the best once they're still being active. When people are just not training and they try and find fault in it, then that's when it becomes a little bit kind of, well, you're not doing anything. You're not actively trying. Like if you come in and give it a good try and you find that like it's still not working for you, then yeah. But if you didn't give it a chance, and I think a lot of coaches and gym owners can resonate with that one. There is a bunch of people for a reason or another that will never, ever be successful in the gym. This is the kind of last one. And the reason is the story. The story they tell themselves, the story they tell everyone else. And that story is that it's everyone else's fault. It's everyone's fault. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. I can't lose weight because of this doesn't work for me. I can't lose weight because such and such. And I can't lose weight because of time and kids and work. And I have an intolerance and I'm not willing to give up alcohol. And it's always a story. And if you ever look at anyone that kind of always talks about the reasons why they can't do something, and this is across all spectrums of life, if you are projecting it out on everything else, you are not owning up to what you're responsible for. So the question I would ask them is, what are you knowingly doing that is preventing you from achieving your results? And when you ask that question, I think that's a really powerful question. When you ask that question to someone, again, I'll say it again, what are you knowingly doing that is preventing you from achieving your results, tends to hit home. And some people get a little bit offended by it. They'll be like, well, it's not my fault. Pretty much it is. You make the choice to accept what you're accepting. They tell you I have no time. Bullshit. Give me 7 days. Let me do a time audit on your life. I'll find time for you to train. Absolutely. You don't need to train an hour a day. You don't need to train at a gym. You can find something to do 10 minutes a day and start doing 10 minutes a day, 3 times a week. It's better than doing nothing. And you can just slowly build on that. But this whole thing, oh, I have kids. Yeah, most people that train in their gym have kids. They still manage to get to the gym. Again, it doesn't even have to be the gym, just getting out to be active. It's always an excuse. And they're the people that project all their problems into other issues in their life that it's not their fault, it's everything else. And until that person obviously is willing to make a change or take ownership and accountability for what they do, or they're open to find out about why these things are not happening to them, which again comes back to them holding themselves accountable, they're never really going to get anywhere. So they're the clients. Now the coaches. I believe, and I heard this saying a while ago, I think it was Ty Arnett. I think it was Ty Arnett. I'm not sure. But there is no uncoachable clients. There is only inexperienced coaches. Now, this is true to, again, a point, because there is sometimes an uncultured to someone you can't physically work with. You won't be able to help them because they're not open to be helped. And I think that's an outlier. I think that's like 1% of clients. I do believe that a lot of the time when coaches and clients clash, it's an inexperience of the coach's ability to work around that client. So when coaches get qualified, again, you've learned a method of training and you are stuck in that method. You open a gym or you're working with clients like, well, this is how I coach people. And if you're not willing to follow my rules, then you are not willing to learn, which means we can't work together. And that is true. I think that is partly a good thing because obviously every coach has a style, and that style, once it's getting results, we're winning. But I think when it comes to coaches, you need to have a personality that is adaptable to working with different personalities, because you can't just be, especially young coaches, it's very hard to develop a system where it's literally, this is my step-by-step guide, you either do it or you don't. That's like, it's fine to have that, but you still as a coach have to have a approach to the personality type that you're working with. And I think you only really learn that through experience. So it's not kind of one size fits all mentality. They never expand on their education. I think this is a good one. So a lot of coaches, when they finish, they won't expand on their education. Like, so what are you studying now? Nothing. Who do you follow that has good information? I'm not really. I follow a few people on TikTok or something. And you're like, that's not, okay, there's some good tips there, but like, it's not really learning. Coaches, you need to be putting in 10% of everything you earn into your education, if not more. Pretty sure I put in more, constantly educating myself on coaching, mindset, business, everything that I'm doing to develop the company so I can help more people. I'm constantly educating myself on that. And then any coach that I pretty much know, most coaches I know actually do that too. They invest a lot of time and money into their education and evolving themselves as a person to be a better coach, to be a better, offer a better service to the client. So if you aren't doing that, then you're stalled. And with the fitness industry, you can't really stall because it's constantly evolving and you just get left behind. Not being willing to evolve. And this is the personality thing, is that, well, I shouldn't have to change myself. We don't ask you to change. What it is you need to understand that, like, I would consider myself a tough coach. Like, I kind of, all right, we're doing this, we're doing A, B, and C, let's get it done. But I can also tell when someone's struggling, and then I can go over to that person individually and go, look, I know you're finding it hard. I need you to kind of just this. We'll stay here. You focus on that. And then I could turn around and go, right, lads, let's go. But I understand when people need a little bit different attention and a different tone to my voice. Whereas some coaches who haven't evolved, they go in and it's a one size fits all, and they end up kind of getting, like, clients leave. They don't want to be coached by them. And yeah, it's never a good place to be. I think most coaches go through that at some point. I think there's an evolution of the coaching cycle. They believe their clients should conform to what they do again. And then, like I said, the overqualified coach is, I suppose, the last one. The overqualified coach is someone who has studied it all. They've got their masters, they've done a thesis. They are literally the cream of the crop when it comes to education of the year they finished college, and they know it all. And the problem is that if you have no actual experience, you don't know a lot, because what you know and what you can do when you're working with clients is two completely different things. And I see this a lot when it comes to overqualified coaches, and you have underqualified coaches too. And I don't think it's all overqualified coaches, but what I tend to see is that, well, they will overcomplicate their coaching by explaining the big words and talking about the deep dive into the nervous system's reaction to a stimulus, and muscle contractions and your hormone release when you do this and when you do that. And a client's like, I couldn't give a shit. Am I losing weight or not? And that is the overquality. They're trying to impact on them all their knowledge. Here's the thing. If you're into something, really, really into something, and your friend isn't, they don't care. It's not they don't care about you. They just don't care enough to be interested. So, for example, right? I'm not into football. My friends love football, especially Manchester United. I could watch a match or I could leave a match. It doesn't bother me. I would not bring it home. If I watch the best match in the world, I will not talk about it for 5 days. My friends will analyze everything and they will talk about it for 5 days. It's the same with coaches. A lot of people don't care. And that's fine. They're not into it as much as you are. And you have to recognize that. So that's it. And on the other side of things is that, like, you can be the most qualified coach in the world and just you can't coach. I've seen guys that have done, like back in the day when CrossFit didn't even have exams. You just turned up for 2 days and were certified CrossFit coach numero uno here back in 2009 or 2008. CrossFit level 1 coach, no certificate, no exam needed. Now I've been to college and I've done a lot of certs before that and a lot of coaching courses before that. But I know coaches that started off with a 2-day cert and are amazing coaches. Why? Because they're invested in helping someone and they'll go out of their way to make sure that they get the person the right stimulus and the right education and the right programming. And then I've seen guys that are like overly qualified that just can't work with people. So what's the best coach, I suppose? I don't know. I kind of went off on that one as well. The best coach is someone that is willing to put time and effort to make a client get results. Your education, obviously, you have to be qualified. You have to have you have to have some knowledge of how to move the human body. But I don't think one trumps the other in regards to if you're impacting people, then you're winning. So the moral of the story is can you coach everyone? 99% of the time you can coach everyone if you are a very well experienced and understanding coach, or is it the coach? I'd say the coach's life cycle eventually gets them there. So I think when you want to be a coach, you study, you come out of college, you'll tend to then find a method or methodology that you will follow, and it's dogma law. So you just got to be, I'm into this. Then you'll find some sort of coach or higher program that you are literally in love with, and that's what you push on your clients. And then you'll kind of start questioning that. And once you start questioning that, your whole world will crumble in regards to who you are as a coach. Hopefully for you, it doesn't take too long. And then you'll come out of that, and here's what happens at the very end of it. It doesn't matter what your qualifications are. It doesn't matter how good you are, how many years you've studied. The goal is, can you help impact people in a positive way? And everything will work to a point. And the real answer, and I'm totally taking this from Coach Dan John, is it depends. Your goal, the answer to everyone's goal is it depends on what you're willing to do. And it depends on how much you're willing to put into it. And if you're willing to do everything, then you're willing to get all the results. If you're willing to half-ass it and barely put in, then you're only willing to get half-ass results. And that's the way of the world. Guys, that is episode 45. I enjoyed that one. I like that one because, just some fun memories popping back up in the brain. Working with some clients and some coaches over the years. But it's all good. Like, again, like everyone that I work with, I wish everyone that I work with, I love. Everyone that I worked with, most of you I still love. But no matter what way it goes, and no matter what type of client you are, or no matter what type of coach you are, I honestly, genuinely want you to be successful in getting your fitness and health results, or successful working with other clients. Really do. I don't hold grudges enough. I don't have enough time to waste on stuff like that. If you, but that's it. Like, if you're working towards getting fitter and healthier, I'm happy for you. Genuinely happy for you. But that is the show. Guys, if you like the show or you're listening to it, please give us a like, maybe a comment. Let me know if you're one of those types of clients. Or you're just one of those cool clients that just kind of does what we like them to do so they can get their own results and live a better life. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm and it helps me grow the podcast because I do plan to grow this. I love talking to people. I know the last few shows I've just been talking myself because I just want to get really back into the flow. I don't have to put scheduling issues in, but we do have some guests lined up. And we are going to have more guests in the show. I'm going to have more topics. And I'm really looking forward to deep diving into some really good, interesting topics as we go. So, have a good one.